It's a pleasure and honor to be here to speak about Monique's work and about her. I'm very honored to be here. It's the first time doing this, so please have some patience if I have any hiccups along the way. So I will first talk a bit about, so yesterday I had the chance to have a one-on-one talk with Monique a bit more, and I will first cover a bit about her, I think, what led her to this work, and then about the work itself. So as mentioned, some things will overlap, but Monique has been involved in arts since the tender age of 5, when she started dancing. And she got fully involved in dance, and this became very much her language, a way of expressing herself and exteriorizing emotions that she couldn't maybe express so much through words. She pursued this, and in 2000 started running a ballet school and did so until 2017, at which point this sort of accident that was referred to by Boris happened, and a first panic attack, and I guess, personal issues took over and she had to take a break. This then followed with family duties that she had to pursue, looking after her parents, who then sadly passed away in quick succession at this time. During all of this, somehow, she started to focus more on photography and decided to undertake studies at the Photo Academy in Amsterdam in 2018. And at first she was asked if her photography would revolve around dance, and she was like, absolutely not. For her, I think she wanted to make a break from one art form to the other and wanted to keep them separate. She took photos, trying to look for her way, trying to find her voice. But like everybody, when you start a new art, it's a bit hard to find that voice, to find how you want to express yourself. And it was in her 4th year, during a portfolio review with Frits de Koning, that she was surprised that when looking through her work, he talked about dance, and that he could see dance in very abstract pictures that were completely unrelated to dance. And this set her aback, but at the same time should come as no surprise as somebody who had been a dancer her whole life. So from that point on, she found a bit more clarity in her work, and she could take a new direction. And incredibly, in her last year, produced the work that led to the book that she published and has since sold out, which is Where the Spirit Meets the Bone. She then continued with this élan and has expanded on this work with side projects that might all eventually link up again in a new book, In Search of Nijinsky and Treading Water. Both of these link very much to her personal story, which I will now look into a bit more now, speak about now. So the exhibition, because actually this is a gallery, but she's decided to present her work more as an exhibition, which I think is very refreshing. And the way to actually visit the exhibition is starting at this point here and then going around the room like this. And if you look at the first images, they are of dancers, but ultimately they are very emotional pictures. At least that's how I perceive them. And you can detect strong emotions of fear, shyness, a lot of fragility, some hesitation, and also pain. And I think it really sets the tone for the rest of the work, that it isn't about, dance is used as a language along with photography, but it isn't about dance. The other thing that we can notice that these dancers are set in very natural locations, so they're set outside. There's no flashes either, we use natural light, and all of this adds to the rawness of the feeling of the work, and the very natural, and that it's very natural and it comes from within. And overall, her work expresses these feelings that run very deep and that, as mentioned, are linked to the psyche or more emotional concepts that are very hard to not only grasp. Sometimes we feel things that we don't even know that we are feeling, so to speak. It takes time to understand exactly where we are going, and sometimes it takes a bit of time to understand what we have experienced, and it's then even harder to then express these things in words. I don't know if anybody's gone to therapy or anything, but it's very difficult sometimes to express these things and to understand what has been going through one's head and how the heart links to the head, but then also to the body, because all of these things then are perceived in the body. And lastly, so why I think this work is so important is that it is very personal, and she is showing this extreme vulnerability. She has expressed how she felt in I imagine, sorry to say, but in the lowest of times, so to speak, in the most difficult of times for her. And that takes a lot of courage. And for anybody who goes through such a period in life, it can be extremely comforting to see somebody express this, because when one feels like this, one can feel alienated, one can feel extremely lonely and distant from the rest of the world when experiencing such traumas. So to see such work can very much help rebuild connections with the world and to feel less lost and have a feeling to go back out there and meet people again. So even though the work may not resonate for everyone immediately, I do think that ultimately at some point in life they might remember this work again at a moment that is maybe tough, and that should ultimately bring comfort. This is what I hope. So I think overall her work is full of empathy, and that is very important, and then will to connect with people showing their extreme vulnerability. And in current times, which are led by politicians and media, always trying to divide us and to highlight our differences and to highlight how we should fear others. I think it is extremely important to have art that manifests these emotions of vulnerability and help better understand. And I think she produced this work, I think she produced this work to better help understand herself and also maybe forgive herself for these moments that she went through. And by showing this, I think that we as viewers can also maybe better understand others and also forgive others. And this is how I perceive the work. Thank you very much.